Hello, hello, hello. Hello, collective. It's time for a quick check-in. I thought I would do it more simple this time. I'm just here in the drum room because the lighting's a little bit better. I was going to do it outside for you, but then it started to rain, so we'll just do it in here. The lighting's a bit better in this side of the room. I'll just show you my new gift that I got. I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful pendant. It's designed by Australia and the brand name is Shine. It's got moving parts here. It's like a little oracle. I was delighted to get this. How sweet. So yes, be guided by my new wearable oracle. Anyway, so I've ended up here and I thought we'd just do a very super simple I Ching reading today. Not doing a lot of reading. I don't even have light to read by, so if we do any reading, I might just do keywords or the moving line or something like that. Probably do the moving line. So the question I got cleared for by the sage was, what does the viewer need to see? And I got approved to use Titiana's book. So we'll do that very quickly. So we'll just throw the coins, and you can watch me throw the coins on the page there. Do a quick hexagram. All right. Dear Sage, for the highest good of the viewer, what does the viewer need to see? So we've got 2, 4, and 3. That's a yang line, unmoving. Okay, drop that coin. Dear Sage, for the highest good of the viewer, what do they need to see, please? Okay, now that's a yin line. And then we've got another yang line. And that is a moving yin line. Specifically for who's watching this video when they happen to find it. Now we have a yang line that's not moving. What does the viewer need to see, dear Sage? And now we have a yin line. Okay, so the hexagram we got is hexagram 63, which is it, I think it's called After the End, usually. The Titiana will have some different interpretation of it, and it changes to hexagram. Let me just do it on the paper so we can see. Changes to hexagram 49. Which is revolution. So, this is pretty serious. If I remember rightly, the moving line has something to do with things not being as stable as you think they are. Is that right? I'm going to have to check that. Okay, so hexagram 63 talks about things being in place, but it's very precarious. It can't be maintained like that forever. It's like a moment of perfection, and all you know about a moment of perfection is it's not like that forever. Like it's going to change. Like everything in the book of changes, it's going to change. So what does it call it in this book? Hexagram 63. It calls it the boiling kettle. Okay. So I'll read it to you. It's not too long. Or should I? What else? So we'll just go to the moving line first so that we can get a context for what we're reading about. So the fourth moving line is, no matter how well things are going now, be aware that attention to detail is still a necessity for a continuation of this success and harmony in the future. Yeah, I think the traditional interpretation talks about that there's a leak in the boat, but you've got rags for plugging the leak. So there is a problem, and you do have the ability to patch, like do a patch fix, but unless you do serious attention to fixing this situation, it is going to fall apart. So you may have to just patch fix it for the temporary, and then look at a complete renovation, which is probably what we're looking at with hexagram 49. So it's drawing your attention to that there's a leak in the boat somewhere, potentially. And the boat can be your physical vessel, it can be your house, your car, your job, your social situation, but it's something that you're using to carry you forward in some way. Something that's containing you on your journey has developed it's like noticing that the roof's got a leak or that there's termites in the floor or something like that. Like, it's not going to necessarily be a problem on the day that you notice it, but if you don't fix it, it's not going to get better, and it's going to fall apart at some inopportune moment. So you kind of need to take notice of it, and the fact that it's drawing your attention to it suggests that you haven't noticed it, or you haven't thought it is as important as it is. So there's something that's not quite right, and you've got to fix it before it gets worse. And because it's followed by hexagram 49, which is revolution, that to me suggests that it's a complete overhaul. Like, the patch will only work for a very short time. It will not be long until you need a complete renovation of the situation in some way, shape or form. So it's like, if you notice a problem, let's just say it's a problem with your car, it's like, don't let it go on for too long. Book your car into the mechanic sooner rather than later, if that's an analogy. I might just read the hexagram as the main part of the hexagram for you, so you can get a better vibe of the overall thing. So this one calls it the boiling kettle. So it's about having the elements perfectly in balance and in harmony. And it's just like, it can't stay that way forever. Something will change, you know. If the fire stays on the kettle, then all the water, the steam will all evaporate. And if you take off the flame, then the water will go cold. So it's only perfect for a moment before things move to an imbalance. So it's like, if everything looks perfect today, it's sort of like, well, enjoy that. Have your cup of tea, but notice that cracks are already forming around the edges, and these need serious attention if it's not to catch you out at the crucial moment. So in this forecast, the balance of moons and suns in the pictorial tablet is of imperfect harmony. Let's face the camera. This is extremely promising, suggesting a moment of peak prosperity, a time of balance and proportion. However, at this time we must look ahead to see that events will need adjusting. A continuation of the state of affairs that has brought us to this point would cause the situation to overheat. If a kettle boils for too long, the water will evaporate. In other words, everything up to now is right and for the best, but caution is required to understand how to go forward. So, congratulations are in order. If you have come to a moment of perfection. See, that's what I was saying. Like everything's perfect right now, but things never stay. They don't stay in one situation forever. You know, they either grow or they start rotting. So if it's not growing, it's going to be decaying, and it's probably something that you haven't been paying attention to is already developing cracks, and that's why you got the moving fourth line. Right. So congratulations are in order. As you have come to a moment of perfection, you have been both industrious and intelligent in your use of time, and everything you have done has been well planned and apt. Old has given way to new, and a change has been created to good effect. Now a new strategy is in order. Okay, so don't rest on your laurels. You need to keep moving forwards and keep your maintenance and repairs up. Also doing things like this line that came up, the fourth line, it could be something that you've forgotten about. It's like, you know, some pile of junk that you just don't look at, or, you know, whatever it is that you've been avoiding. Like, say, for example, if you're someone who doesn't tend to do your tax, or doesn't want to open the mail, or doesn't want to weed the garden, or it's just these kind of small details that you can put off to later, but they eventually become something bigger. Like, it's kind of like the stitch in time thing. Yeah, a stitch in time saves 9. Now a new strategy is in order. You must keep ahead of the trend. Success seems close, and so it is, but only with a good plan for the future. Don't lapse into arrogance, and remain grateful for the circumstances that have brought you this far. Indifference would be disastrous. So yeah, it's a warning against arrogance as well. You need to stay humble and not take your good fortune for granted, but remain humble and appreciative to those around you. And because that's part of your stability, let's say. So stay on your toes, think creatively, be alert to the need for a change of approach in order to prolong your success. If you can grasp this, you will succeed. And make sure you retain firm control of the future direction you take. This set of circumstances is akin to the approach of autumn. The successful harvest has been brought in, but equally, it's important to know how to prepare for winter. The right activity at the right moment creates order and security. Okay, so then you get it changes to hexagram 49, which is usually called molting or a revolution, and it has analogies to things like autumn, or a snake shedding their skin, or a political revolution. But, you know, things are going to need complete renovation in some way. Which, how does it describe it in this book? A blazing row. Okay. All right, now we were specifically guided to this book, so I will read from it because it's such a different interpretation. All right. A combination of fire and lake. This reading will have even greater impact if you are either the second daughter, fire, or a third or younger daughter, lake. In either case, you are approaching a key moment in your life. All right. Success comes from accepting the inevitability of change. This forecast suggests there is some form of conflict in your life. Well, we certainly got that with the last reading. During this disturbance, many different opinions will be aired and examined, and as a result, change will follow. Having tried every way of avoiding a confrontation, you will find it is no longer possible. So things are coming to a crunch, I guess. The signs are that a significant transformation in your life is occurring right now. So transformation, it uses the word transformation advisedly because a transformation is not the same as a change. A change can change back, whereas once something has transformed, as in a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly, you can't go back to the way it was. Whatever happens is a permanent transformation. It's moving from one state to another. So a significant transformation is occurring right now. It's happening to you now. You are in the middle of this transformation. This is coming about because life has changed and you have moved on. You may feel that you have grown up or grown in another way. Your way of seeing the world may have been altered by some form of enlightenment. In a relationship, you may no longer see your current partner as in step with you or no longer want to be in the partnership. In career terms, a different course is emerging, a new direction in a totally different field. As a child may grow up and find a way of being that is freer than that of their parents, this change is inevitable. So resisting the change is useless. You might as well just accept and surrender to the transformation. You know, what is happening to you is meant to happen. It is likely that an argument will occur as a part of the process. So you've been warned, don't be too shocked. Confrontation is inevitable because two people now come from two completely different standpoints. There is no way of finding any common ground. The best that can be expected is an agreement to disagree. There is a clash of ideologies. It's just like fire and oil and water not mixing kind of a deal. A clash of interests, a clash of emotional responses to the world. From this crisis point, a new pattern of life will emerge. Like the changing seasons, this is natural and not to be feared. The only thing we can be sure of in life is, after all, is change, and that is often for the best. So don't be afraid of this change. You just need to go with the flow. This is an absolute dividing line between the past and the future. So there's no going back. Whatever's changing now, it's for good. And it's for your good. It's for the better. Okay, so we'll just pull a few cards to get a few more clues. We've got the angel cards and some Thoth cards. Any more clues for this reading? So there's something that's about to change permanently, transform permanently for the better. But there will be conflict. Maybe there's a conflict you're not aware of, like there's an argument brewing, and that's why it's saying there's cracks that you can't see. Maybe that might be something to be aware of. Potentially somebody is sitting on feelings that they haven't expressed. Or it could just be something that's been brewing for a long time, and there's no longer any way to get around it, to avoid it, it has to be faced. You simply can't take the next step without dealing with this. So, please show us, dear Sage, for the audience watching this particular video at the time that they are watching it for their highest good. Okay, show us the querent. Okay, it's to do with your intentions. So you need to be crystal clear about your intentions, most likely. Alright. Possible block or challenge. Okay, where is this crack? What's this crack got to do with? The thing that might need a patch. What's the challenge or difficulty for the collective, dear Sage? What department? In the romance department. Right. Well, maybe you need to be more attentive to your partner if you have one. And if you don't have one, maybe this situation you're breaking out of will take you closer to your partner. So maybe it's happening so that you can be closer to your partner. See if that helps. There's a romance card there. Okay. Helper's guidance. What's going to help get the collective through this transformation? New love. Maybe if you're in an ongoing long-term thing, you can just bring some new energy to your love life, potentially, or look at your love life from a new angle. Okay, well, that was a jumping card. I'll take that one. Enchantment. Wow. Is someone coming to enchant you? You know, I'm a bit biased here. I don't like this new lover, old lover stuff. I hope it's nothing to do with that for me personally. Let's see. New love. Give us more, please, with this Thoth deck. What can we know? Intention. Maybe it's just you need to put some more energy into this area of your life. Making time and space for it. If you've been working too hard, not tuning in with your partner, or for those of you who don't have a partner, this something's transforming in your life so that new love can come in, because maybe where you were before is just not a conducive environment for love. Maybe you need to get out somewhere new so that you can bump into someone new, meet someone new, or fresh energy. Okay, let's see. Can you put another card, please, that goes with intention? Dear Sage, what goes with intention? Please clarify this. What do we need to know about intention? The Lovers. Wow, this is all about love. Look at this. So we've got Lovers over intention there, and then we have romance there. Maybe somebody's going to shake your world. That'd be all right. I know there's some in the collective who would definitely enjoy that. Someone coming to rock their world. But let's see, in all of these cards, there's a choice to be made, I do believe. And the enchantment can be positive or negative. I think, you know, you've got to allow yourself to be charmed, but not be, have the wool pulled over your eyes. You need to see things clear-minded, yet enjoy what there is to be enjoyed. But so this is definitely a love reading for someone in the collective is having some major shift in their love life. And there's choices to be made. Are you going to make the choice that nourishes your romance and your love, that brings fresh energy into your love life? You have to be very clear about your intention towards your lover, I think. Okay, what's in the challenging position? Oh, romance is in the challenging position. So maybe you're just not making enough time for romance. Or the romance is going to be challenging, but we've got romance is challenged here. And new love is the advice. So I'd say if there's any third parties entering into this situation, it's saying don't go back to the past. I wouldn't go back to some old lover. If you've left them behind already, there's a reason for that. Stick with the one you're with, or with the new one coming in, not with some ex coming back. I'm getting exy vibes off that. I would be very careful of exes coming back. Because the new love, or the love you're with now, is looking better in this reading. You know, if you can bring fresh energy in and give it your best intentions, I think there's definitely a choice aspect here. For some reason, maybe some of you have got a choice between one or more lovers, or you've got a choice between going in the direction that nurtures your love life or one that stifles it. Okay, please, dear Sage, for the challenge department. Here, romance we've got as the first card. What's the second one for challenge? To clarify. Okay, the Empress. Why is the Empress challenging? There's a challenge with the Empress and the romance department. Interesting. I can't say I see why. Maybe there's a challenge to your love. Or maybe if you've got an Empress, then you need to be the match to the Empress. You can't just be a Prince of Cups. If you're the one you're interested in romantically is an Empress, you're going to have to come as an Emperor. Or, well, an Emperor would be the best match, I guess. There's probably some other ones that would be acceptable, but you're not going to come as a page if it's an Empress. So it's possible they may seem slightly out of your league, potentially. The Empress is a challenge. I might have to use the coins to clarify some of this. Okay, please tell me about the guidance about the new love, dear Sage. Valor. Okay, which is the Seven of Wands. So you're going to have to be brave and have integrity. I don't think this Empress is going to accept any half-hearted offers. You're going to have to be strong. You're going to have good vigor and a good spiritual, because there's purple in the background, which is a very spiritual colour. So if you're going for this Empress, you're going to have to come very correct. It's very courageous, very upright, quite spiritual, yet with a lot of base chakra energy as well. So vigorous, valorous. But I don't think that'll be a problem. I don't think you're going to have any problem feeling that way. You just have to come correctly with this new love. Oh, okay. Most likely outcome. Show us one more card for that. Well, this is quite the mysterious reading. Is there someone new coming into your life, collective? Are you going to have to choose between an old and a new partner? Are you going to have to stay true to be the match for the Empress? What's the story here? What's the most likely outcome here? Oh, we've got two cards came out. Oh, so we have the Hierophant and the Emperor. And the Emperor is right here opposite the Empress. And the Hierophant could be marriage, potentially. So to me, this could be a match made in heaven. Like the Hierophant could be God, potentially, or it's just like spiritual. This is a spiritual union, I believe. I think it's saying choose the Empress. If you're going to be an emperor, then you need to choose an empress. And if you're an empress, you need to choose an emperor for a match made in heaven. You know, you can't be an empress going out with a page, or an emperor going out with a page, or even a queen may not be appropriate. You need the match, someone who matches your energy and who is as serious about things as you are. And I think that if you do find, I think that's actually saying that God's lining you up with your right partner. So for those of you who are with someone already, I think it's actually just saying, you know, stay good and in your integrity and come correctly and bring good fresh energy, and you know you're all heading in a good direction. This is a God-made union. And for those of you who are not, it seems like something, you know, you're going to be given the opportunity, and if you might have a choice of two lovers, and if you pick the right one, if you pick the one with the correct spiritual values, that nice balance. See, in this Valor card, if you look at the colours, it's got lots of reds and orange, which is like your base chakra, and it's got the purple there, which is like your crown chakra. So it's really nicely balanced with that spiritual discipline but physical grounding. You know, you meet above and below. It's a good match above and below. You share values and you get on well physically. There's a good attraction there. I would say there's definitely a good, strong attraction there. If you look at that picture. And God's in the middle of all of this. Or this could potentially be marriage for some of you. There's a potential for a heaven-made match here. Some of you are meeting your husbands and wives if you choose carefully and come correctly and keep bringing fresh new energy into the relationship. I'd say if there's an ex showing up, I would be very careful of that. Because it talks about a choice here. And Valor is definitely a moving forward energy. It's favouring the new. So if an old flame comes back, I think you do well to remember why you left them in the first place, or why they left you, whatever it was. Because there is something around you here that's very solid and a good match, potentially, long-term, life-term partner, and the sort of union that you build an empire with. Like the Emperor and the Empress have all their needs met because they're so solid together. They're such a good match, and they're so solid that they have all this abundance and grace. See, there's a swan in here in this picture of the Empress. She's got a swan, so that's like all the grace. There's actually heaps of animals there. So they're very stable. They've got a stable home, this Emperor and Empress. But maybe that's why... Okay, so in the original question was what does the viewer need to see? There's some crack There's something that needs to be patched up to put you in the right position. And it may even need a complete revolution or renovation to put you in the position where you can be with your emperor or your empress, as the case may be. So so I'm going to say there's two things to see here. One is that there's something that needs fixing. And the other is that you may even have a choice in love, but one of these choices is a very, very good match for you. A good, long-lasting emperor and empress type match. So if you can't see that person yet, maybe that's why you're about to have a revolution. Some of you may be moving home or something like that, and maybe in the new environment you might need to go to a new environment to meet your emperor or empress potentially. I'll leave it there, collective. I didn't want to go for too long. I'll do a new reading sooner rather than later. Catch you soon. Have a lovely day.